Hey guys, Will here from SoundOps, the interactive mastering studio. I want to take just a few minutes today to tell you something very important. It's actually a secret. If you are an independent recording artist, what I'm about to tell you could completely change the course of your band and the way that you're discovered. In particular, the way that you're discovered online. So I want to start by giving us just a little context, and I think the best place to begin is distribution. We've all seen that listeners are beginning to prefer digital distribution over physical distribution. In the coming years, we may find that a recording project is hardly likely to have any packaging at all. Some of you may remember when you would go to the music store, the cases were really tall and attractive, and people would wander around. At that time, Turtle Music, which became Blockbuster Music, would just be wandering around in the store for hours just looking at the artwork, and a lot of times they'd come home with one CD over another just because of how it looked. Well, that's changing, and now when people discover you, they discover your band and discover your music, the first thing they encounter oftentimes is going to be your sound. How you sound. Not how you look. Not how you look on stage. Not how you look on TV, not how your packaging of your CDs look, but how you sound. And so I asked the question to guys, is your band's music ready for that? Is your band's music ready to sell? Because believe it or not, having a CD that's ready to sell is not the same thing as having a download ready to sell. They're just not the same. I don't know how many of you have seen Groove Shark, but what these guys are doing is phenomenal, and it really is going to be a big thing. Most of you have probably heard of Pandora. Well, Groove Shark has taken that one step further. You probably know that when you use Pandora, you type in a song or a band and they make a radio station for you based on that. Well, with Groove Shark, you type in a song you want to hear and you get to hear that song immediately. Then next to that, you get to see what songs are similar, what bands are similar, and you can purchase right there. And that really is where things are going. But if your music is playing right alongside, the biggest name acts in your genre, then it's even more important that you make your music ready for that you make your music sound its best, and the volume levels to be up to industry standards, and the clarity of your mix. And that's what mastering does. So I'm about to tell you the big secret. Something I discovered from Google that I came across in March of 2009. In March 2009, there was over 500,000 searches for recording studio, or recording studios, or studios for recording. But in that same month, there were only 8,100 searches, approximately, for mastering studio. Now, why would a mastering studio tell you that? Why would I want you to know that mastering is less popular than recording? Because what that really tells us is that even though mastering is the industry standard for the labels and the professional recording artists, it tells us that the independent world doesn't take it as seriously. And it could be argued they don't actually take their music as seriously. what the numbers really tell us here is that since the independent scene hasn't really caught on to the power of mastering, either because they're low on funds or because they're just not educated about the difference between mixing and mastering, and how when you get to the end of a project, mastering can do more for your money than just more mixing time. If your band takes the time and takes the extra couple of $100 it takes to master your next project, what you're really going to do for yourself is give your band a seriously unfair advantage, because the listeners who are going to iTunes with their $10 gift card have 10 songs they can buy. That is competition. There are millions of songs they could spend their money on. And your main competition isn't the big guys out there like U2 and Coldplay and Muse, and the list goes on. Your real competition is other independent artists. So when you're ready for mastering, obviously I recommend that you check out SoundOps.com. That's our studio. We have designed the entire site and the entire business around the artist experience and around giving you control in the studio, so that your finished product sounds exactly like you want it to. Mastering is the last step in a recording project to get a serious sound. To get a professional edge, as an independent artist, you need every advantage. And getting your project mastered does that for you. And it's not just about the audio. It's not just about the facts. It's about how it comes across. It's about the things that you can't quantify. You know, even though mastering is a very technical service and skill, the listener doesn't say, oh, well, they obviously adjusted the EQ here or the compression there, or, cleaned up the beginning and the end of that track and made all the tracks sound nice together. They're not hearing that. What they're hearing, what they get, is the general effect. The general effect of mastered material is better, hands down. And so what that results in for you isn't just better sounding audio. What it is it's music that has a better chance to get you noticed, which is what this is all about. I'm preaching to the choir here, but ask yourself the question, is our music really ready to sell online? Is it ready to sell by itself, with no packaging, with nobody coming to see us at a show, with no YouTube video attached? Is our music ready to sell standalone by itself? Then ask, is it ready to sell right up next to the big guys? Is it ready to sell up against major label projects? I hope it is. That's why we do what we do, because we think it's valuable, and we know what it's like. We've been in bands. Some of us are still in bands, and we know you don't just make your music for yourself. You make it to share. You make it to sell. You make it to spread. And mastering is going to make it ready. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes to check out this video. I wish all of you the best of luck, and certainly if you have any questions about mastering, about the studio business, about music in general, feel free to give us a ring, shoot us an email, drop by SoundOps.com and see how easy it really is, and how inexpensive it is to multiply all the time and work that's gone into your recording so far, to get the most out of your music and get the most for your money. Thanks again, guys, and take care.